Where's the sound trip ever taken? It's October.
Hey! Welcome back. We're doing top 10 Jokey Pants. We're doing clowns and creature features. We're going to do clowns first, so get ready for this episode. I gotta be honest, I didn't have many clowns I enjoyed. I think I have more of, clown movies that are bad than good. But,
We're definitely going to cross the streams on this one a bit, but I think I have one or two that you haven't seen yet, so.
That's probably fair. Well, folks, Jokey Pants, with me as always, Cerebral Paul. Let's get into it, shall we? Well, right off the bat, I got the classic, one that I think most people enjoy, which is the It miniseries from 1990.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
Yeah.
Though it's not number one, and it's not number one though, and we'll get into why a bit. but I did go through and I did actually take some notes on this one. I mean, from top to bottom, it had a stellar cast, especially for 1990. If you were alive in 1990 and of a certain age, you would look at this cast and go, "Holy crap! There's a lot of stars in this movie." You had, Tim Reed from WKRP. You had John Boy from the Waltons. You had Jonathan Brandis, who was, Sequest DSV or whatever it was called. You had John Ritter. You had Seth Green. It was Annette Bening. Annette Bening is the female lead. Like I said, from top to bottom. And of course, to top it all off, you had the amazing Tim Curry as Pennywise, the clown. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to go wrong on that one, really. Well, I don't know. It's a classic one. I know I watched it when I was too young, and I still enjoy it now. So
oh yeah, it's so. Here's where because the newer one's going to come up on my list too. But here's where this one stands out. This one's mostly because of Tim Curry. He played Pennywise. He had a lot of fun doing this. You could tell. He didn't play it straight, scary, or menacing. He was, it was just kind of it was still scary. And I think this movie would have done even better if it wouldn't have been a made-for-TV, PG type level movie. And I'm already going to put my weakest point for this movie is the ending. The mysterious alien spider creature that they came up with.
Yeah. So here's the thing, folks. With season 1 of this show, which I will bring up again with some other movies on both of my lists. With season 1, I covered a movie called Arachnid, and the Arachnid was basically just some kind of leftover TV series spider thing. It looks exactly.
That was the one with David Arquette. No, that was the one with John Goodman, right?
No, the one with John Goodman. That's Arachnophobia.
Okay, that's right. Okay, and then Eight-Legged Freaks was the one with David Arquette.
Yes,
we had a little period there where we did a lot of spider movies.
I don't really have anything bad to say. Other than like you said with the ending with the alien spider, but past that, no, the miniseries that of course goes on, a good clown movie,
right? And in case, because I've actually looked at a couple of times throughout the years, it was interesting that the adults and the kid actors hung out together before they started shooting. The adults so they could pick up the mannerisms of the kids, and so they would actually try to act like they think the kid would act at a later age. certain motions or the way he scratched his chin or whatever, and they would work with that. So you thought you were watching the same character, and it worked out very well.
Yes.
Did you turn your camera off on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What?
So, and then so what's next on your list?
It's hot here in Guam. Next up on my list, I have Clown from 2014.
I see. That's not on my list. So, give us the spiel.
So Clown. Sorry, I had to grab my drink. Clown 2014. That was the originally an Eli Roth internet short about a dude who puts on a clown outfit, can't take it off. Then it was.
Oh wait, maybe I did see. I did see that one. It's just not on my list. Yeah.
And then it was turned into its own movie with the director John Watts. But I enjoy it a lot. It starts off simple enough. It's just a dad who dresses up as a clown for his kid's birthday, and then turns out clown outfit is actually demon skin, and get an entire plot of he just goes throughout the entire movie eating kids, which
nice.
in the world of horror doesn't happen a whole lot. Typically kids are safe. Clown is an example of no, he purposely the demon eats children. So it gets brutal.
Right.
But no, Clown is in my favorites listed, so pretty good one.
There you go. One I just watched, my next one, the one I just watched the other day again, Stitches out of the UK.
Okay.
Have you ever watched Stitches?
I think I've seen that one time.
It is taken with a lighter tone. It's a bit of a comedy, but it's very gory. They had a lot of fun with the practical effects. The only actor anybody might know, because unlike a lot of movies who say it's a bunch of teenagers, and you can tell by looking at them, they're actually over 20, pushing 30.
Yeah, usually how it goes.
They actually did. In this movie, they actually did use 15, 16, 17-year-olds. The only one of any note to me and to anybody who watched the Sarah Jane Adventures or some episodes of Doctor Who would be the kid who played Luke on Sarah Jane Adventures, Tom. Now I can't think of his last name. Hang on, I got notes.
Also, happy Oddtober, everybody. I forgot to mention that right after
yes,
that.
Oh yes.
Happy Oddtober.
October. So where is it? Tommy Knight.
Okay.
And it was out of the UK, so all the actors are out of the UK. The guy who plays Stitches did an amazing job, having a lot of fun doing it, as a goofy little clown who wants to kill people, because he's actually a demon clown per se, because he dies rather gruesomely at the beginning of the movie because these shithead little 10-year-olds are.
Is that the dishwasher?
Yeah, he falls into the
I have
dishwasher,
seen this then, yeah.
where the mom put the super sharp knife pointy side up. Yeah. There's a safe thing to do. And to me, this is not a live action version of Krusty the Clown. Seriously. From the beginning of the movie when he's driving it into his girlfriend and he's got, I got a kid's party to get to, and he looks all disheveled and shit, and he's just not really good at his job. Yeah. But it's a fun movie. It really is.
I almost had that one down on my list, so I'm glad you grabbed it. that one's pretty alright. Another one that I feel most people, I mean, I guess not most people, because I know plenty of people that shit all over this movie, but for me, it's always been a favorite. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 1988. For me, that's always
that was my next pick too. That was my next pick too. So there you go.
For those of you who don't know, the Charles and Stephen Chioda directors on that one, just couple dudes who were really wanted to make a horror movie and went all out to make Killer Clowns. If you ever have a chance, go look up the behind the scenes, because it is honestly amazing they were able to pull off anything that they did having no budget. It was great.
And all practical, by the way.
Correct. It's super good.
And yes, and you'll never look at cotton candy the same.
Oh God, no. God. The only thing that makes me upset with Killer Clowns is I did not play the game, but that is because it has that Dead by Daylight, like, survivors versus killers, but like I had seen very early on that there were people like, oh, this is the OP class to use, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is why I don't want to play it, because like I don't want to just get owned by a bunch of clowns immediately, because there's like 2 things to use and you win.
I have played a little bit. I also know some people that worked on the game, so
see, I was really excited. It's just the online aspect is what throws me with those. It's like, nah.
Yep. So it is, because it is a bit of a Dead by Daylight type of thing, and with quick time events and stuff like that. I still don't have it because even though I knew people that worked on it, including people that worked in the
Did they not
PR
give
department,
you a free copy?
That's exactly, or at least give me the information, because I reached out to one of them that I knew and said, I need to know about the accessibility, and he says, well, reach out to this person, and I never heard back. I said, fine. If I'm not going to hear back, then I'm not going to bother, because why should I?
Sons of bitches.
Yeah. To be fair, I have gotten to play some games for free that, so I can't complain a whole lot. So,
Another series, trilogy so far that I know most likely on Paul's list. That would be Terrifier 1 through 3, the 2016, 22, and 2024, and we'll soon have a 4th one. Throw that one on here because.
It actually started with All Hallows Eve. So to be fair,
correct,
and it even started before that. So
I have a little bit of a nitpicky thing, and I'd like to bring up with Terrifier, and this take it how you will. Is Art technically a clown or a mime? Because he doesn't talk, and he does a lot of miming stuff. So I've always been like, is he a mime or a clown?
That's the actor. He's a clown. He is Art the Clown. That's his official moniker.
Okay.
And not all clowns talk. So, yeah.
Well,
I will say that Terrifier 2 was on my list because I think it's the strongest of the 3. I had some issues with 3. It's fine, but it doesn't top my list. Terrifier 2 does. Terrifier 2 was the introduction of David Howard Thornton as Art, because he was not Art in either Terrifier 1 or in All Hallows Eve.
Correct.
And so what you're seeing in there is, like you said, the miming, the frenetic acting, the having fun doing what he's doing, and there was I've met Damien, I've met David, I've met Lauren LeVar, and I've met Elliot Fulham, who played her brother. And it's fun to say that they did a lot of extra filming, going, just do what you want to do, and we'll figure it out. With David. And if you meet David, you wouldn't realize that he plays a very terrifying clown, but he's a great guy.
Yeah,
he is.
Seeing him outside of the makeup, I wouldn't think so.
No, and what's funny is he used to be an elementary school teacher.
That's honestly
Can
funny.
you imagine him as now, hey, that was my teacher. Wait, he's cutting that girl in half. Holy crap. Yeah.
That's honestly great. So last on my list for what I would say like good clown movies, I suppose. How do you put that? I have on here, and this one again, take it how you will, folks. But for me, House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects which is 2003, 2005. I put them here simply for Captain Spaulding. I would technically include Three from Hell, but unfortunately Captain Spaulding's actor died. Sid Haig died as they were making that one. So he's not in it for very much, and he's not in clown makeup, so I don't count the third one. But the first and second one I do, because he's technically a clown, and he's killing people, so I'll count that.
I'll give it to you halfway. I don't consider those a clown movie just because Spaulding's in there, because he's not the focus,
That's fair.
I mean, okay. I mean, but yeah, because I actually had to watch it a couple times before. The first time I saw House of a Thousand Corpses, like, what the hell is this? But I've watched it since then. I've watched Three from Hell. I've watched the other stuff that Rob Zombie has done. Don't get me started on Rob Zombie's Halloween stuff, because that's going to be a whole nother episode of This Is Absolute Shit. Somebody lost the thread on that one.
See, I'm in a different boat there. I like the first one. I don't like the second one, and the second one is
the whole visions of his mother and shit. Yeah, just weirdness. I didn't like. I didn't like where he took Michael. That he basically made him basically every white trash. Every white trash thing you could throw at him, he had thrown at him, and it really took it away from that. Well, but see, to me, I'm a Halloween purist, and we can talk about that movie too, because to me, John Carpenter set him up as a normal kid growing up in a normal house in a nice neighborhood, and he just some switch flipped in him, and he killed his sister because she was, having sex or something. I don't know, but it wasn't all this, drunken daddy, abusive parents, I like to kill animals, blah, 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 It was, it was as Donald Pleasant said, I looked into his eyes and I saw nothing, And to me, that's the best example, that's the best definition of what Michael was. And that's, to me, is where Rob Zombie kind of lost the thread,
I suppose that's fair. I mean, for those of you who don't know, the second Rob Zombie Halloween, I've said it many times on many shows, but the reason the second one is so bad, and I know there's many people who write it all off because of the second one. But the second
Sherry
one is
Moon
bad.
Zombie? Oh.
Well, the second one is super bad because Rob didn't want to do the second one. He had other things he wanted to do, and then the studio said, hey, that first one made a lot of money. You need to make a sequel. And they twisted his arm with, like, we're not going to let you do anything else till you do. So he said, okay, I'm going to make the worst piece of shit I possibly can so you don't ask me to do any more.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on what he did to Dr. Loomis. He totally destroyed Dr. Loomis. Donald Pleasant's character from the original series. Absolutely. Yeah, I will die on that hill.
So I went down a rabbit hole for this episode. I didn't mean to, but I ended up going down a rabbit hole, and I have some of possibly the worst clown series I've ever seen.
Well, let me get my since we already kind of talked about my number one. I want to talk about my number two, because my number one is definitely Terrifier 2. My number one is 2017 It Part 1, and of course the one that came the year later, It Part 2, with what's his name, Skarsgård as Pennywise. Because they're one, and one it's closer to the book.
So here's the thing.
Well, you don't like it?
I'll give you chapter 1. Chapter 2, I didn't like chapter 2. I went to theaters to see both of them. Chapter 2 fell off a little bit for me compared to the first one.
Right, but I just consider it a complete story, just like we did with the miniseries.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
But I like it because it was true. It was closer to the book. I have to say that I've gotten older. I'm going to sound so. I like gory. I don't like. Let's let the viewer assume what happened. Like the remake of Salem's Lot, which is a whole nother, the one from last year, utter shit. Seriously, it's like, okay, if you don't need to to me now, if you're going to make a good horror movie, if you push those boundaries, use practical and practical and don't think you got to ride that PG line. Those days are gone. You know, that's especially if you want to follow a Stephen King story. Have you read Stephen King's books? I don't know if you're a reader. Have you read?
Of course. Yes.
He does not hold.
I read Congo in a day. So yes.
Well, that wasn't Stephen King. That was.
No, I know that's not Stephen King, but yes, I read. Yeah. Like I read Jurassic Park and Congo in a day. So yes.
But I mean Stephen King. If you read the books, he doesn't hold back.
Long, but yes.
He gets very descriptive of what happens to these people. You know, it's like.
In many different ways, yes.
Yes. And there are parts of the Ed story that they didn't put in either film, which is fine. Trust me.
There's some things best not.
Which he takes a lot of heat for on the interwebs, but because he knows that if you...
That's the internet.
He knows that if you use children, people's emotions are drawn into it deeper. That's why if you really look at his stuff, he does a lot of that. But that's because they're innocent and they're thrown into these situations. But yeah, I did. But on top of Terrifier, I think the newer they really did a great job. That first sequence when, you know, that little boy gets his arm ripped off at the grate, you know.
The beginning is it's great. Yeah. No, I think they did fine. There's something about 2, it falls off a little bit for me. I still enjoyed it. It just 2 I felt a little off for me.
Also, I mentioned earlier that Tim Curry played it whimsical. Bill Skarsgård did not play Pennywise whimsical in any way, shape, or form.
God, no, he was terrifying.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference between the 2 movies, actually, is the way the Pennywise is portrayed. And they didn't have a spider at the end of the new one.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
They didn't have the UFO, the alien spider, whatever the hell he was. Yeah. And now we're getting Welcome to Derry coming soon, next month, if I recall correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually been excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. So looking forward to that. So this is good timing for that. By the time he actually puts this up, it may be airing. So who knows?
So folks, I ended up down a rabbit hole for doing this episode. I was looking for clown movies because I didn't know a ton of them. I've seen some, but I was like, there's got to be more. I know there's more than what I've seen. So let me start with 2 movies that were okay. Now, once again, as I've mentioned on many shows, my brain does this fun thing where if I start something that is a series of any kind, my brain will be like, even if it's terrible, will tell me, you got to finish that. You got to know exactly what they did with the rest of that because it can't all be that bad. Or just in general, you have to finish that story you started. Enter Killjoy 1 through 5.
You sat through those?
Fucking God.
I can't sign off on this, and if anybody checks these out, do not blame me. I'm just telling you, that's not my fault.
So good old Full Moon Pictures, who will come up in my creature features list because there's a movie in there that I had to mention. Anyway, so Killjoy 1 and 2 came out in 2000. It came out like back to back. The first one, it's not the best B movie ever, but the clown parts were kind of fun. It's just, it takes too long to get to that shit. And I just was like, what the hell is this movie doing? He's a demon clown called Killjoy. And he has Punchy, Freak Show, and Batsy Boop. Anyway, so the first movie, the girl survives and she leaves. And then I was like, oh, well, there's a second one. Let's see what they did there. Second one completely forgets anything about the first movie. And in fact, You know, Leprechaun Goes to the Hood 1 and 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Killjoy 2 is kind of like that. And then it also forgets it's a Killjoy movie until in an hour and 20-minute movie, 40 minutes in, Killjoy finally shows up and does something. But it's not even, I don't even think it's the same fucking Killjoy, because it has nothing to do with the first movie at all. So Killjoy 2 from 2000 is super bad. The first one is just okay. I personally, folks out there, take it how you will, to each his own, whatever. I prefer, you could do as I did, which is you just get really high, you watch the first one. It's a bit of a drag, but once you get into Killjoy actually doing something, he's actually pretty fun. Now, besides the first one, the only other good one, was the third movie, which was Killjoy Goes to Hell. Because that was actually kind of fun of Killjoy Demon. Because then it brings back to the first movie, finally, and it's just a whole thing because he lets someone live. Basically, Satan and the other demons are like, you're not really an evil demon because you let someone live, and it's like this whole thing he has to go through. It's kind of fun. 4, it's like a Godzilla movie because they do like a whole space thing, but like it looks like Godzilla 2000. It's not the best. And then there was a 5th one that I couldn't even get through because it's basically a sequel to the second movie, which once again just has nothing to do with any of the other fucking movies. And it's just like, this one's, he's in the ghetto and he's bringing up a circus. And I'm like, it doesn't have anything to do with anything before it. This is fucking stupid. So that is the rabbit hole I went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Killjoy Terrify.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, 2024. They're clearly we're trying to market on something.
They're trying to feed off the Terrifier. They're probably trying to feed off the Terrifier hype.
Yes. So yeah, I went down the Killjoy rabbit hole. They're real bad. Full Moon Pictures every time make like some of the worst B movies ever. My God.
Yeah.
Like, there's Trauma of like the B movie side where like he just has fun with the things he makes. And then there's Full Moon, where Full Moon's just like, you have an idea and you don't really know what it is. We're going to fund you. Mm-hmm. Not really a whole lot, but we're going to fund you. Mm-hmm. They're always bad. They're always really bad.
And they probably always get on like Shudder or the other
yes.
The other horror-driven channel that I can't remember.
Tubi has a whole Full Moon section. Yeah. You can go find
Yeah.
all Full Moon for free. So.
Hey, why not? It gets eyes on the movie, and if people watch it, they get a little bit of money.
So, do you have any bad or any other good clown movies to add on the list here?
Not really, because you're right. There aren't a whole lot of them out there that are worth watching. There are a lot of really bad ones that I can't think of right now.
Oh,
and there's
100%.
some I have. There like I had seen clown, but I had to, even when I was going through a list of seeing, okay, what's like the top 25 clown movies, going, seen it, didn't think it was that good. And I did enjoy clown, but is it one of the top 5 for me? No. Top 10 possibly.
That's fair.
But like you said, like we both said, between the two of us, 5 for each of these is pretty good, because you start getting into like 10. Because I could give you a top 10 for horror movies. I could give you a top 10 for a lot of movie types. But sometimes by saying 5, then you're really getting the cream of the crop.
It's true.
And even with mine, there's some I would probably shuffle the order on a little bit. But
yeah, I can see that.
But having just rewatched Stitches, if you want to have fun, and watch a fun clown movie that's just out there with practical effects and Stitches is the one to go to.
I could agree with that one. Stitches is pretty fun. But that is our clown list. So for this spooky season, if you're looking for some scary clowns, go check those out. But we'll catch you on the next one. Stay on, stay happy. We're not going to cover over the rules because we wouldn't do a movie. But in this case, I think the rule would just be Don't accept gifts from clowns.
I would also say don't put the sharp knife pointy side up in the dishwasher. I just,
That's like a life lesson everyone should know. Yes, I will agree.
Yeah, you don't want to learn that the hard way. You don't want to learn that the hard way.
You might kill a clown by accident, and then you have to deal with that.
Then he's going to come back at your kid 6 years later.
Exactly. But anyway, folks, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye now.